I honestly have no idea if this is going to work, but here we go. So I was just troubleshooting for the last, I don't know, I guess 35 minutes. So the whole plan today was to try and do my very first YouTube stream. My overlays aren't here. I barely got even my camera working, but hey, we're here. I'm going to try it out. I'm going to try and do this relatively quickly because you know what? I I still have homework to do. I have a ton of stuff going on, but we're here. I'm going to give this a go. So what's up, YouTube world? How you doing? Welcome to the channel. The reason I'm trying this today is normally I stream on Twitch, though I have been increasingly moving more of my content and posting more content onto YouTube, though each week I essentially practice my video content in live streams like I'm about to do right now. The problem with it is, well, I'm not reaching some of the people that come and see my content on YouTube. So if you're here from that, then welcome. Thank you for checking out my content. And I'm glad that you've been finding some value and you found found a reason to want to return to the channel. So my hope with this is to just get some more content going on my YouTube channel. I've been in my first week of school at college, and well, now my second week, and I'm getting settled in, but it's a lot of front-loaded work, and I haven't been able to put any time into my latest YouTube video, which I am working on. So I've got a new series I'm putting together, and the nuts and bolts of it is I'm going to be doing raids with commentary over them, and I'm going to show people how it is that I go about a certain task. In this case here, making money, and the map is customs. We're going to be doing scav runs. I'm going to show you what I do in order to make, on average, about 400k a run in the simplest way that I know how. So that's what today's going to be, and hopefully, it's not going to take too long. Whoa, YouTube, what's up, Cal? Eric, what's up? And your ATF dog. Nice to see a couple of you guys over here. What's up? So, yeah, we're here on YouTube trying it out. Let me know how this goes, because I don't know if this is going to be fundamentally different or just the same as any sort of Twitch stream, but yeah, I figure this is going to make it like I'm going to try and do this from time to time. I'll mix up my time on YouTube and on Twitch. So I'm going to take you through the entire raid of Scav. I'm going to talk about what I do. I'm going to talk about why I do the things that I do. I'm going to talk about some strategies that you can employ right off the bat, like something that you learn right now if you're not doing it already. These are things that you'll be able to add in to make your runs better. So I'm going to go over that. First thing I do whenever I get into a raid, I always check my equipment, and I do so from cover. So the first thing that I did was I tried to get away from just standing out in the open. You never know when someone's going to be wandering by, so I'm in reasonable cover. I've got a little spot. I'm going to check my inventory. This is the lowest income possibility that you can have, so we'll see what we make of this run. This should be interesting. I'm going to hotkey my meds. I've only got one heavy bleed bandage. It's good to know. In order to hotkey things, I hover my mouse over the object either in my pockets or in my rig, and I press the corresponding key. In this case, I wanted to put it on 4, and you can do that from 4 to 0. And now I want to know what I've got on my characters. So I've got only a small vest. I've got no backpack. We're going to look to find those. I've got a sniper rifle, which isn't the end of the world or the worst weapon, but I think that we can definitely do a little bit better. Though I'm not going to try to fight on my scav. The whole point of me getting money on my scav is I want to take it out of the raid. I want to put it on my PMC basically. So I'm going to do everything in my power to stay alive. And most of the time it's going to be avoiding a fight. And I think that, there's a certain value to that, especially on your scav. If you want to fight, I recommend you take your scav loadouts or your cheap loadouts and take them in on your PMC. I'll talk a little bit more about that as I go too. So I want to find out how much time's left in the raid. We got 30 minutes. I'm going to find out where I'm going. Railroad to port. If we're facing out this direction, if you can imagine the bridge all the way in the distance, railroad to Tarkov is on the left side, railroad to port is on the right side, right on the the train line there. And then we got old gas station, which You know, we could make a run ending at old gas station. I actually really like that run as a scav, so that's what we might try and do. The problem we've already recognized is we have a very small amount of space. So there's a few places that I can go and check. I can go wander into the gas station. I can go wander into checkpoint, which is this area up here. So we can like have a little look around. All it takes is some interest, Cal. If you get into keyboard and mouse and spend some time in it, it becomes a lot of fun. I sucked at keyboard and mouse for a long time. It was frustrating for a little bit. It's like, you know, if you really know how to ski or snowboard, one or the other, and then you go and try and do the opposite one, and you just suck, you're like, oh, screw that, I'm going to get the stuff that I'm good at, right? So most people just plug in their controller. But it's worth fumbling through. And as long as you got a fun game to mess around with, like something that's not so competitive, then you can learn. So I want to find scavs. I want to find scavs that might be able to increase my space. And hopefully we don't run into some sort of close combat warrior along the way. Now normally I can get away with not immediately looking for a scav to kill for their container, but since my space is so low, it doesn't make too much sense for me to start much of my loot run, though I will check some stuff while I'm over here. So I'm just looking around. I'm kind of scanning these rocks up top. I know that players like to be up there. Just kind of peeking back. I'm taking my time. There's nothing rushing me. The majority of the loot that I'm going to be finding is in containers. I'm not really looking to hunt people. I do want to know if Rashal is here. That would be bad. So what I'm going to do is cross the road. And you'll see that I most often move from cover to cover as often as I can. And I try not to linger in any super vulnerable areas. And these are the nuts and bolts of the loot run. So we got a hidden cache. This is a ground cache, and the other version of it would be a barrel. Well, it's the PC age now, man. Cal, I think a good portion of our friends, people that we know, have been picking up PCs for a while now. So it's definitely not a bad time to get into it. I swapped my glasses for no reason other than just because, and I used my discard key, or in this case I've rebound the delete key to Z or Z, depending on how you say it. So I discarded that, and then I used alt-click to equip that, and same thing with the weapon. And this is kind of unusual. We found two of the exact same weapons, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put these mags in there, and I'm going to control-click this mag. So now I've got two for my Clin, which is going to put us in a bit of a better position for fighting. Something I didn't do at the beginning was check the ammo type that I have, and that's something you're going to want to do. And if you're unfamiliar with what these buttons are that I'm pushing, you know, you can hop in your settings. I don't even have quick phrase on. So let's see here. So what are we looking for? Check ammo. So I've rebound mine to T to make it easier, but this is where you're going to find this stuff. So if you're not familiar, just, you know, take a second, come have a look. So for this one, I know that I'm working with 366 TKM FMJ, and then for my other gun, got 9P GZH. And it's good to know what the pen value of your ammo is, so that way you know what kind of armor you can deal with. And it's basically 10 points of pen for every 1 tier of armor. The ammo that I have isn't going to be all that great against armor. Alright, so we've got a scav here. It's not a scav boss. It's not a player. And he does have a backpack. Looks like he's also got some armor. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to peek around. I want to make sure that I'm not going to get shot in the back by someone else. So I'm planning to take this guy out. I'm setting it up. Give a little peek around. Looking pretty good. So I don't see anyone in my area. I'm going to take this guy out. Going to discard, alt-click. You know what? I kind of just want the shotgun, so I think that's going to be better. And I'm alt-clicking as much of this stuff as I can. This knife is actually a higher value, so I'm just going to grab that. Control-click here. And now I need to get to cover so that I don't get shot. All right, so we've improved our situation a little bit. And essentially what I'm trying to do is I need a backpack. I thought that guy had one, he did not. But I've increased the amount of squares that I have potentially to fill loot with, and my goal is to get 10,000 rubles per square worth of loot. So here, that's 10,000. That's perfect. Grenade, a little less than 10,000. So, we might use that. Ammo, not worth 10,000. So you would take whatever the value is and divide it by the number of squares it takes up. In this case here, this magazine, I think is maybe worth between 8 and 10k. I don't know. It could be worth less, but that would mean that it would be 5k. Is it okay for scavs to kill scavs? There's nothing wrong with killing a scav. If you kill scavs in an area, they're going to be aggressive towards you. So any scav that finds me in this area will now try and kill me, just like it would a player. But there's no like negative right now to killing a scav. There's like a scav code of honor that if someone comes up near you, like a player scav, and he wiggles, he does this little like, "Hey dude, what's up?" He'll pretend that he's being friendly, or he will be, and so you can make your decision as to whether or not you want to fight them. So certainly nothing wrong with taking them out, but most of the time I just leave them there. They can kind of act as a sentry of sorts. Okay, so we're in a little bit better shape. I still need a backpack, but we can actually like walk towards our loot. And I'm just going to be going from loot cache to loot cache. I've spent the time to learn and memorize where they all are. And now I'm going to go to my different loot cache areas to try and min-max the space that I have. So I still have some empty squares, and if I manage to fill up, then I'm going to slowly get rid of loot that might not necessarily hold the right amount of value. But since I have empty squares, I don't need to get rid of anything right now. And while I go through my loot run, I'm going to be looking for a bigger rig, a bigger backpack, and then there's one other thing I can do to increase my space, and that would be getting a rig inside my backpack as well. So I'll look to do all of those. Yeah, no negative to killing scavs. I've got some... What are you? I have no idea what the heck that is. Cool. We've got some more money to add to our pile. I don't know what that would have done if I just control-clicked it, so I clicked and dragged onto my stack, but for the most part, I'm going to try and control-click everything. When I walk through the map, I'm always looking for the areas that I would normally travel and making sure that I'm ready for players from those areas. So, like this area that I'm walking right here is close to cover. It's close to the next path and the next point of loot or point of interest that I'm going to. So, I mean, I would be walking here, so I'm expecting another player to be in the same position. Essentially, the short of what I'm saying is always be ready. If you expect someone everywhere, you'll never get caught off guard. And the more you know, like the little good hiding spots, like that bush right there, people might be in because they're medding, they're stopping for whatever reason, checking their phone, checking a map. The more of those spots you know, the better off you're going to be too. So this is tricky, but we're going to take the Vector, obviously. I'm making this decision because I know how much a Vector is worth. And it's worth more than that shotgun. Killing potential... not better because we don't have very much ammo. So that's something worth considering, that if you're trying to choose what to take, I have 4 things that I think about. Number 1 is increasing my survival. So that might be meds, that might be armor. There's a scav up there. He might not be aggro to me. If he's far enough away from the one that I took out before, he won't necessarily try and get me. But yeah, I want items that'll increase my survival. That's going to be better ammo, meds, armor, even bigger rigs, backpack. That all adds to your capability. So those are my priorities there. And then I want quest items, things that I need for my PMC to get them out of the raid for found in raid items. I also want items that I don't have access to yet. So things that might be rare to me. you know, maybe I haven't unlocked them through the traders. There could be a ton of different reasons for an item to be rare, but usually it's just not available to me at the time. And then the last one is items for profit. And, you know, most of the time right now I'm just looking for stuff for profit, but if there was the odd item, I would consider taking it. So this guy does actually have a bigger rig, but he doesn't have a backpack, which is kind of a bummer. So I'm just going to sneak up this way. Actually, I'm going to check this loot cache first. I don't know if he's aggro to me. I don't think he is. So keep going through. Wrench is okay. Meds are okay. Another pistol. I guess what we could do here is get rid of the shoddy ammo, and I can take the mag. Not a bad play. See what this guy's doing. He must have wandered. Oh no, here he is. So he's not aggro to me. Oh, this is actually a different guy. So he's got a helmet. That increases my survival. But I don't know where the other dude went. So, you know, you don't want to necessarily rush anything. I think that would be a really good strategy to employ. It's just to not rush. And you'll see that I walk around a lot while I play too. I definitely enjoy playing fast, running around like it's, you know, COD. But playing playing Tarkov in a slow, methodical way, like, more embraces the style of the game that, like, it really is built on to be. When I choose to kill a scav, I like to look at what's going on in the entire area, just like I did in the gas station. So, you know, we've got this guy here. He's got a helmet, but he has nothing else to offer me. So he's not a huge priority, but, you know, having a helmet's nice. Increases the value that I'm taking out of the raid. This is perfect. So just gotta be careful here. That was weird. So I took a moment to look across. And we're looking all right. So I'm going to get this backpack on. I want to put this rig inside the backpack. I could have just control clicked that. I don't know if we can use that, but we're going to take the ammo. That was weird. And then we'll grab the mask, which actually we can't. Sorry. That one we can, though. All right, let's get up off of this dude. So I'm going to come to the edge, get in cover. So what I've done with the rig, and the reason why the rig's important, I hear someone in the bushes. I'm gonna hotkey my Salua here. So the reason why the rig's important, because it takes up 9 spaces, but it holds 10. So I've gotten 1 extra free space as long as I'm taking items that are small enough. This is a good take. I'm trying to process all of the audio information that I'm getting. I'm actually going to start trimming some of this extra loot that I don't really need. I'm going to put 1 square items in 1 square spaces. And I don't know if these mags... Oh yeah, they do. Okay, so we've got tons of ammo now. This is awesome. What I could actually do is we'll take the ammo out of one of these and we'll make sure that we keep this 30-round magazine ready. And so this inventory is starting to get a lot better. Got some extra bullets. We've got meds, so I can actually deal with any kind of bleed. I can't heal a break, which is a problem. And if I need to, like, I don't have painkillers yet. So, you know, I'm going to make sure I respect my limitations in terms of what my gear is capable of doing. But we're good. We've now, like, increased our value by quite a bit. I'm already just under 300k. So there's our helmet dude. So we have a few scavs in our area. They're actually really good. I mentioned the word sentries before. While they're floating around, I don't have to worry about someone entering into my space without me hearing about it. So control click. Actually going to keep that on us. Control click. And then this stuff I know is low value, and this is something you're going to have to learn over time if you're trying to play for profit, is you'll have to... Oh my god. So we got that guy, bigger rig. Got this guy with a sniper rifle. this might be good. So I'm just going to do this real quick. Thought I heard some sort of rustling in the bushes. Now I want this sprut. Alright. Getting into safety of cover. Now we can play around with our inventory. So the reason why I took the sprut is this adds extra space too, so I can put 2 other tactical devices on here. And now we've increased our space a little bit more. So, you know, like, it would be probably beneficial for me to wear the bigger rig. So what I'll do is I'll drop that one, alt-click this one to equip it, so it went from my backpack onto my person. And now we'll take this rig and use it for storage space. So we don't need the shoddy rounds. Got this over here. We got some painkillers. So our big guy's basically kitted with everything that I might need, which is awesome. We even have a grenade. So we're capable of fighting now, but I'm still just going to like focus on profit. I'm going to keep this outside of my back or my rig so that I can access it quickly. Anything that I want to potentially interact with, I'm not going to bury inside of a rig just to make it quicker. And then, yeah, so this is all pretty decent. The ES lamp's probably like my lowest value thing in here, that and the meds, but, you know, we're doing okay. Can't believe we found some Vaseline, too. Okay. And we'll get rid of that shoddy round. I don't even know what it is. I probably should have kept it just to take it out of the raid. Oh, yeah, and that's valuable right there. So we're looking pretty good in our rig. So I'm just trying to decide what I want to do. I got that cache over there. We got a cache in the barrel. We got this cache here. We may as well just continue on our cache run. The area that I'm in right now is probably one of the more vulnerable spots of my journey. So I'm going to, you know, be extra cautious as I move through here. I don't necessarily want to run too much because I don't want to lose my ability to see what's coming, and I don't want to tip off anyone that might be close to my audio. If you move silently like this, you can often move around the map like a ghost. And if your goal is profit, that's probably what you want. Alright, looking good. So we can hear that there's some fighting or some gunshots going off in the dorms. It doesn't really matter to us. The dorms presents a few different loot containers, maybe scraps from an old fight, but people love to go there, so the risk of it is quite a bit higher. The reward, not really so much. Honestly, you could make more money going to 3 loot caches than you could make looting, you know, the dorms on a good day. Unless you had access to the locked rooms, like the marked room and whatnot. So we're just going to continue on with the stuff that we know that we're going to be able to do and that's low risk. Got some headphones. Got some really awesome 7.62 rounds. So in terms of like what I could have done a little bit better to earn more profit, that one scav that we saw with the helmet back there, we could have taken him out and taken his helmet, but it wasn't all that necessary. I think our cowboy hat still gets us a little bit of profit. I can't remember how much they're worth. But we might have lost out on about 5k. Not too bad. So tool set. We're going to have to rearrange our loot a little bit. We'll take that. It's worth about 10k per square, so that's good. These batteries not worth that much. And what I might do is I'm going to put the less than 10k per square items, or at least the ones that I'm sure of, outside of my container. So this way, if I need to get rid of anything, if I'm min-maxing my stuff, then I'll have a pretty good idea of what I want to do. So I'm going to actually just take this ammo out and keep it available for my big mags. And I do have one small mag as a backup. I don't need the other little one. Chances are I'm going to get rid of them anyways. So the reason that I do runs like this, and I'm encouraging people to learn runs like this, especially if you're someone that's lower on the income side in Tarkov, is it's no fun to be broke in the game. And knowing what to loot, or at least what to start learning to loot in the beginning, is a worthy thing to understand, because there's so much to even begin learning in Tarkov that it might be overwhelming, even like, you know, just considering where to start. So these loot caches are one of the areas that I would recommend. I kind of want to take this vest. It has a pretty big value, but it really messes with everything, doesn't it? We just need a bigger container. We got more M61 rounds, but more than will go in a full stack, so we're just going to do that. So these vests right now are worth like 20k. They don't give you any extra space though. So maybe what I could do... Yeah, I'm not going to worry about it. The ump... Not really a possibility either. Could get rid of my Clin. I think the ump is only worth about 30k. Yeah, we're fine. What I'll do, actually... So the magazine is going to be worth some. So I'm control clicking the magazine. And now we've got it on here. Just in case I don't find enough other stuff. And now that it's getting quite a bit lower in time, I'm going to move through a fair bit more aggressively. I'm not going to worry quite as much about making audio noise. 7 minutes gives me enough time to get to where I'm going. And I'm not going to get slowed down because I know where everything is that I'm looking for. Garbage, I don't know. Some ammo is worth it, some ammo's not. And in that case, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I'll find enough good stuff. Bolts are awesome. Right now they're worth like 50k. So learning, you know, like what I would encourage you to learn if you're trying to min-max on items are learn what sucks and learn what's really good. Like bolts are really good. These things are awesome. They're worth way more than 10k per square. Less than 10k. BS rounds are good. They're about 1,000 a bullet. So that's like barely the minimum for what we want to be taking. Because there's only 10 bullets. Use my middle mouse to look over my shoulder. Get a sense if I'm about to be running into somebody or someone's coming my way. I'm always trying to turn my character towards where the danger may be as well. So you'll see why. See I'm rotating my character. This is actually where I'm going to start getting rid of things that are useful to me in order for profit. Get rid of that. I think we're going to get rid of that. So, like, towards the end of the raid, I'll start getting rid of my low-value mags, my bandages, my meds, anything that's on the lower side of value, like literally a profit. So I start throwing out the whole, like, needing things to survive. I'm assuming that if I get in any kind of a fight, it's going to be against one dude. I've still got my Slua for now. Chances are, though, I won't run into anyone. There's one scav right there that I just saw out of the corner of my eye. Flash drives, good money. What here is not that great. So we're actually going to get rid of our sprut. We're going to get rid of our meds. And... I don't know what the sounds were that we just heard there a bit ago. BP rounds, not that much. I can't remember how much these are worth. It's just a scav. So we don't have a ton more time to get to our extract, which is old gas. Might not have been just a scav, I don't know. It's hard to say. I'm going to double check that I am going to old gas, and I am. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and take loot that is like really quick for me to look through. So back here. Someone's above me. So there's a person upstairs looting a computer. I think, anyways. It sounded like someone was looting a computer. Which could be possible and would make sense. So any risk that I take at this point, I'm effectively risking around 650k worth of profit. And that's not worth it to me, so I'm going to avoid every fight possible. There shouldn't be any fights, honestly. We got another loot cache. We'll check down here. Some rounds you'll run into loot caches being like completely exhausted, and it will totally happen. There's going to be plenty where you'll have the experience like I am right now. So stuff that I can get rid of here. I think the Salua. We'll take this ammo. So that ammo is, I think, somewhere between 600 800 a bullet on the flea market, and there's a pretty big stack of it. Got a grenade, that's 35k. Some dry fuel. Just trying to quickly go through here and see what we can get rid of. Let's get rid of the mag. Dry fuel is like 30k. The mag actually might have been 20k, so I don't know. We're really trying to like min-max to the fullest. Bandage, bandage. You'll find sugar there quite often. So we're actually near our extract. We can slow down just a tiny bit. I have gotten lost in raid a few times doing runs like these, and it might happen to you. It sucks, but you know, you'll get better with timing as it goes on. So he's got an ADAR in his hands. Just checking in here real quick. So I'm going to take a bit of a risk. I don't know who else might be in here. Excuse me, sir. We're going to get just like, we're going to squeak a little bit more money out of this raid. I think this is going to work. Maybe it's not going to work. Oh no, we can't take the bigger thing. Oh, that might have been a mistake. Let's see what he's got in his pockets. Ugh. Still got a minute. I'm gonna undo what I just did. Okay, take. Thought I could make it work. We got med case. Might get a blood set. That would be good. I have no idea what I would drop on the Zarya. Come on. Nothing under the tree. It's the tree of giving. And our last barrel. So I'm going to toss this grenade. That. Grab you. That's pretty dang good. 725k. So this tells you how much money is roughly on your character while you're in the raid. So we made, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it was like really close to 700k or a little bit more. And that's the like, you know, essence of what I do in a run. I'm going to be trying to do more of these streams on YouTube. And I have a video where I've essentially taken what I just did there, and I'm attaching a mini map as well as some tips will eventually make it into some of the post-editing process or the post-production process. But the mini map's going to be there to help people that don't have a sense of where they are, where they're going. And, you know, as I make more and more of them, will slowly just improve on the amount of content that gets added in terms of like, you know, tips and tricks and stuff like that, making it, you know, a more fluid experience. I'll have, you know, less less tongue twisters built in there that I get stuck on. But yeah, that was a solid run. Easy money. All right, I'm gonna hop off. I got homework to do. I've got a busy rest of my night. I hope you all have an awesome evening. Thanks for checking out my first YouTube stream. I'm usually over on Twitch on Tuesdays and Sundays, though I'm gonna try and mess around either here or there, so you can catch me in either place. And yeah, thanks again for all of the support on the YouTube videos. It's been really fun to, you know, start making them, get really good feedback, lots of acknowledgements. And by all means, if you ever have any suggestions, please let me know. And if you ever want to connect, reach out to me on Discord, Twitter, Reddit, anywhere you can find me. I use the same name all over those places.